Hi, welcome to the Get Strong and Healthy podcast. My name is Anna Clow. Thank you for being here. Today, I have a special guest joining us. This is a client of mine, Marcela. Marcela and I have been working together for about 6 months, a little over 6 months at this point, and she has a really cool story to share with her fitness journey, and she has come such a long way. And I'm really excited for her to share her story with you guys. And I know that there's going to be a lot of inspiring takeaways, a lot of valuable takeaways that you can use in your journey and hopefully gain some inspiration from. So, Marcela, share with us a little bit about you, and then we can dive into your fitness journey story.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Anna, for having me here. My name is Marcela Morales. As you said, we've been working for about 6 to 7 months. I met you probably 8 months ago, right? And I am super excited. I live in Northern Virginia. I have two girls. One of them is the one that asked me to go for a fitness tryout, I guess, with you, and that's how I met you. And then I am a loan officer, so my job is really stressful, and I think I found the perfect balance of how to take care of myself, but at the same time, still working and doing what I love.
I love it. I love it. So share with us a bit about, kind of where you started, where you were when we met, a little bit about your journey, and then we can talk about how things have evolved since then.
Perfect. So I was lost when I met you. I remember going to a retreat where you were giving, like talking about nutrition and fitness. And I joined your class with Luciana, my daughter. And then you were talking about eating the right things and kind of, but it was eating everything. You weren't taking out any carbs or fat or anything. And I was like so surprised because it really opened my mind at that time, because until then I was on a diet that I was eating less than 1,000 calories per day. And yes, I was losing weight, but I didn't feel healthy. Like I couldn't eat fruits because the fruits had too much sugar. And in my mind, I was like going to the store and seeing, apples or strawberries that they look so good, and I couldn't eat them because they had carbs and they had too much sugar, and it was not right for that diet. So obviously my daughter Luciana, who was 18 at that time, she's like, "Mom, we should join her because I think you don't have a good relationship with food." And that it was hard for me to accept that I didn't have a good relationship with food. I was the type of mom that wouldn't let them bring any chips to the house, or I will get upset when they were in a snow day like today bringing chips or hot chocolate. I grew up thinking that I was fat when I was actually really skinny. And I've been living doing diet since I remember, probably since I am 15 or 16 years old. I always like to drink water, and that's obviously healthy, but I always deprive myself. I was always restricting myself um, from food. And basically, let's say we will go on a Sunday to have lunch, and after I wouldn't enjoy while I was eating, and after I ate, I will feel sick. So I don't think I ever was diagnosed with something. Never I cared to go to a doctor and talk about this. But then when I met you, you told me we need to do a reverse diet so you can go back to to activate your metabolism, because I don't think it was working. And that was true. Whenever I was, let's say on a weekend, while I was doing this diet, I was eating out like any normal person at a restaurant. Let's say it was my anniversary or something. That Monday, my weight will be much, much higher. I'm talking about like 3, 4, 5 pounds higher. And then the frustration that I will feel just because I had one meal out of out of the regular, it was really bad. And that's stressful because you cannot eat whatever you want. You have to be thinking and be mindful, which we always need to be mindful, but like it was a stress added to the stress that I already have at work. And again, I was another, also a type of person that wouldn't change my size. So if my pants were a specific size, I will keep buying on that size. And I wouldn't buy new clothes because I couldn't fit on the old ones. Get it? I didn't want to go a size up. I didn't want to accept that we all have different bodies, but at the same time, I was really wanted to go back. I don't know to what, because I am already 40 plus years old, and I think I wanted to have my 20 years body back.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us kind of like, we started working together. We started working on eating a little bit more, kind of reversing you up, going through a reverse diet and beginning training and training properly to really put on muscle and kind of, that was a big shift for you. So I want us to, kind of hear you walk us through what that was like and how you felt through that process and kind of elaborate there.
Yeah, that was amazing. So when I met you, we started working out. I never ever lift weights in my life. Never. I was really afraid to go to that part on a gym. And I hate to do cardio. So for me, those diets of 1,000 and less calories were perfect because I obviously with that many calories, you cannot even work out. So I but at the same time, I was going through a stage on my life where my mom is getting older and I need to help her. She lives with me. So while I was eating 1,000 calories, I was seeing her aging and noticing that she didn't have any muscle on her legs. And then when I think about it, I really never seen her going to the gym or working out, right? So then when I met you, I was like, is it right? Is it true that if I start doing lifting weights, I'm gonna get bigger, like look fat? That was my main concern. I was afraid to, because I am tall, so I didn't want to look bigger than what I think I was, right? But at the same time, I wanted to take care of myself for the future. Like I really, really want to have longevity, and I want to be probably 80 and keep walking by myself. I don't want to depend of anything, either walker or wheelchairs. I mean, I just don't want that for me. So that's why I decided to join you. And yes, you started with first your relationship with food. Okay, there's nothing bad, right? And that's what I love. Like there is nothing bad. You have to make good choices. We all need to make good choices, right? But there is nothing wrong if one day you eat something that is too salty or has too much fat. It's just once. So that made me change a lot my perception about food. Like I used to be, um, my husband thinks I like black coffee. And the other day he's like, he made black coffee. And I said, why are you making black? And he's like, because you like black coffee. And I'm like, no, actually, in the past, I didn't add cream or milk because it was extra calories in my intake. But I told him I really don't like black coffee. Now I can enjoy some, I don't know, almond milk, and it's perfect for me, right? So I realize how different it is now. And trust me, right now I go to restaurants and I enjoy the moment. And then obviously I try to drink a lot of water if I am taking something that has too much salt, because that's an impact in your body. I mean, it's true. I mean, when we eat out, usually you don't feel the best. But I drink a lot of water, and the what I am the happiest is that when I have dinner, I have a little bit of everything, like a salad and a carb and protein, but I feel that I am balancing my meals and I love it. I mean, it's not, sometimes I wake up and I eat protein, and sometimes I wake up and I'm like, today I want bread with butter and maybe cheese, and it's okay. I mean, it's not bad. I just need to balance my daily meals in a way that, okay, in the morning I had some carbs, so let's have a healthier lunch, maybe salad, right? I mean, I am really happy with how I am eating now. Mm, I see food in a totally different way. I am eating fruits, and I actually went back home for like almost a month during the holidays, and I was really afraid about it because I do love like Bolivian food. For me, it's just amazing. I am being there. Obviously, you want to eat everything, and I was so surprised that how I was eating. Like in the past, I will go to a trip and I will come back with 10, 15 pounds over, and then who knows how you lose that again, right? But now, first of all, I didn't overeat. Like I did try a little bit of everything, but until I was satisfied, I was just, I don't need to finish the whole donut. I can eat one bite and that's enough. It's just, I am satisfied with it. I didn't have to finish. And when I came back, I gained only 3 pounds, which I lost them in the first week because I honestly think it was the retention of water that I have because of the change on the altitude. But that's all. I mean, I am super excited. I did work out there. I am from La Paz, Bolivia, and that's about 12,000 feet above the ocean. So it is pretty high, but I was able to work out. I never, ever in my life, I went to work out to Bolivia, like never. And I enjoy. I work out there and then I came back. I didn't work out for probably 2 weeks. And today it was our second training, and I'm sore, but I love it. I can see changes in my body. I can see, my muscles are showing, and that's amazing. I mean, I am sure I am on the right directions for the longevity and having a healthy life.
This just makes me smile so big, just hearing all of your shifts along the way and how you've been able to get to a place where you're eating till satisfied, not stuffed, right? Not having the restrict and then almost like binge eating tendencies, but in such a really healthy place with food, which is super exciting.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about how, when we began to eat more and we began to, really dial in your exercise routine with training, like how was your energy affected? How was your digestion affected? Maybe even, mentally, how you were feeling. And then also, I want to hear a little bit more about gaining muscle and how that's been pretty exciting for you.
So yeah, definitely all these changes are really, really exciting. When I start training and I start having like building muscle, and then noticing that especially my arms, like my arms, I love my arms, right? And now I am trying to wear all the time sleeveless because I'm loving my arms. So i I watch tennis a lot, and I told you this. I am a big fan of tennis, and I was watching one of the players. Usually all of them will have beautiful bodies, but one of them has so many muscles on her back, and I was like, how you can get there? And I honestly, I've been watching tennis for many years. 2 years ago, I will be like, I could never do that. But today, you ask me, and I'm thinking like, it might take time, but it's not impossible. It's really not impossible. If I want to, I could. I've been so excited of how strong I became, like lifting the luggages when I went to Bolivia. And I think I told you this. I don't usually measure on the scale. I will lift. And if it was super hard to lift the 50 pounds, I'm like, okay, so this is enough, right? I mean, let's not add anything, not to have overweight. And then now all of them were overweight because the easy for me was no longer 50 pounds, right? It was like 70, I guess. So it was funny to notice how strong I'm becoming. Um, about the food, it was like I feel full of energy after working out. Like I do lifting 3 times a week. And if I don't do that, I feel is funny, but I start feeling pain in my body. Like my back start hurting, or maybe my lower back. And that happened to me now that I came back from Bolivia and I didn't work out the last 2 weeks. And I was surprised how everything hurts when you're not working out. And obviously, when you work out, you have some soreness, but it's different to be sore than that pain that makes you feel old and feel like, oh, I can't do anything. And I honestly think many people maybe even finish at the doctor with because you're like, I'm having so much pain in my back. What can I do? I mean, if you read it statistically, I think 9 of 10 people above 30 years old will have back pain. That's what they say. Everybody lives with back pain. You need to get used to it. I don't think you need to get used to it. I think you need to start working out and moving your body. I mean, I think the pain that I feel is because I wasn't moving that much. That's basically the reason. I don't know why, but I start working out and the itches go away.
Absolutely. That, and just how cool is that, that not just mentally, seeing those mindset shifts and improving, physically feeling better, and the pain part, like that is huge, right?
It is. It is big because sometimes you're awake. I mean, I remember in the past, I will wake up, I will sit in my bed, and I will be like, "Oh my God, why so much pain in my lower back?" And now I am like, it's not that I wake up and I'm like, yeah, full of energy. No, and sometimes I have some itches, but it's lasts much less than before, and it doesn't prevent me of anything. Like I feel okay, I just need to stretch. Maybe I just need to stretch, or maybe I just need to walk a little, but always moving. I think when you move the most, you feel better, much better.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would you say to the woman who is maybe scared of lifting weights, who's maybe scared of, learning balance with food and eating a little bit more? Like, what advice would you give for someone who is where you used to be?
So I do think that it, lifting is scary. When you see those, and when I arrive at your house and the big dumbbells, I'm like, I can do that. And you were like, yes, you can. You need to do it with the right person. You need to do it with somebody that teaches you. Because if you try yourself at the gym by yourself without somebody that is guiding you, I think you can really hurt yourself. I mean, that's not a joke, right? But I think people shouldn't be afraid of a start. And obviously start slow, start with low weight, and then you're gonna get stronger and you're gonna get better, but always with supervision. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I mean, like at a big gym, like we told you today, like it's different when you do it in a small place with somebody watching you all the time and kind of coaching on your posture, because sometimes I mean, I've been working out for 6 months and I still have the wrong posture, and you make me correct that, and obviously that makes the workout better and make sure that I am not hurting myself, right? I think people shouldn't be afraid of lifting. I think it is actually great. I don't know if because of this, but I've been receiving so many reels, on your social media, how now lifting is even better than cardio. I think it's a balance. I mean, I am not a trainer but I think you should balance everything. And regarding food, I think it's a new year. We all want to start with the right way. But the right way um, is not basically restricting yourself. So I think people need to be aware that you just need to find the right balance, and the right balance for your body, because your body might be different than mine, right? Or your goals might be different than mine. So everybody has different goals, and they can everybody can start it. I don't think it matters the age or the gender.
Yeah. Yeah. And for people whose goal is to maybe lose like a lot of weight, I have a lot of those people come to me thinking that they need to eat like extremely low, like I call it like poverty calories. It's like a lot of the times when those people eat more, they're able to be more consistent So they're actually able to stay in a deficit rather than, binge eating on the weekends and, because they can't keep it up. So when they eat more, they're able to be more consistent. They are also sometimes more active, and that leads to, helping the weight loss, right? And maintaining that deficit. So definitely, if you're someone who is not moving much, feels like they can't eat anything and they're not sure why they're not losing weight, I would highly recommend, just like Marcela's story is like, begin lifting weights, right? Even if it's once a week. I have multiple clients who train one time a week and they're making great progress because it's the quality of movement that's what matters. And then on top of that, really focusing on steps. Like Marcela has worked a lot on, focusing on movement, right? You have your goal of like 7K steps.
Yes, yes, definitely. The 7,000 steps are not easy. Like honestly, if I start working and I work my 8 hours without thinking about it, I won't do it. It's really hard to do it because then you go back home after work and you have to prepare dinner and do the regular stuff and you won't have time to do the 7,000 steps. So you definitely need to add them little by little during your day, but it definitely helps and it helps a lot. Something that I did notice, Anna, is that since I started lifting, I am eating much more. I mean, like we did the reverse diet, right? At the beginning, the goal was to make sure I was not restricting myself of anything, but I want to make, to be clear, I didn't gain any weight. I didn't gain anything because I was making healthy choices. I mean, it's not that you decide to, oh, now I eat whatever I want and you go from fast food to fast food restaurant. No, I tried to eat thing. I tried to eat at home. Like I could make a really good sandwich that in a restaurant will have much more fat. So I do the same thing, but at home, made by me. So I can control the areas where they usually add more fat. I am not restricting myself of anything, but I am mindful about what I'm eating. And because I am eating healthy and I am lifting weights, I I think that's the reason why I didn't gain any weight because I didn't gain anything since I started with you.
Yeah. And the cool thing is like, weight has stayed the same, but muscle mass is way
Went
up
up.
and body
Yes.
is down. So you're looking way different, right? But even being the same weight, you can totally change your body composition, which is really, really cool.
Yes, that is true. I mean, I did notice on my body how the muscle I can notice now. Like the other day, again, I came back after probably 2 3 weeks that I didn't do any workout. So I went by myself to the gym on Monday, and then on Tuesday I was like a little sore. So when I stand from my office to the kitchen, I was looking like, why I'm so sore? And then I look at my legs and I'm like, oh, because I work out, but then I could notice the muscle. So I'm like, oh, that's exciting. I mean, I never had muscle before. And I think weights is 100% is the workout with weights because with cardio you burn calories but you don't get any muscle.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And the cool thing about lifting weights versus cardio, I kind of explain it as like lifting weights is going to be more automatic calorie burn for you in your day-to-day life, right? Because building more muscle takes more calories to keep it on the body. So you're automatically going to be burning more calories in the long term. Cardio, on the other hand, is a little bit more like manually burning calories. So you're only burning calories when you're, doing the thing. And cardio is great, but kind of like we've talked about is I really like to view cardio as like for, your health, for your heart health, for, really just enhancing how you feel in that way, and not so much looking at it as like, oh, this is gonna, help me lose weight, because at the end of the day, nutrition is going to be the much easier way to kind of look at things there and helping us lose weight, because you can be on the treadmill for hours and maybe burn a ton of calories, but you can eat those calories in about 5 seconds, right? So kind of looking at your nutrition is going to be first, usually the best route with pursuing fat loss, making sure you're resistance training. And then over time, using cardio as a tool to help with, if the goal is fat loss, to add a little bit of that in can be awesome. But again, I really like kind of viewing cardio as like for your health rather than like, oh, I'm just trying to lose weight and, burn calories. Cause I think that sometimes that can create a bit of an unhealthy relationship with cardio. And that's just kind of, that's kind of stuff we've talked about a good bit.
Right. I don't like cardio personally, honestly. It's the part that I like the least. And when I was doing my 1,000 intake of calories, I was going to the treadmill and trying to burn like 300-400. So I could eat slightly more, but I didn't have the energy to burn the 300 calories that was my goal. So it was a lot of frustration. I felt so frustrated. I mean, I don't know how, like I'm glad I found you, but a little kind of late, but never late. It's never late.
Better late than never.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, even just like your brain needs like hundreds, if not 1,000+ calories to just like, function optimally, right?
Yes.
It's like, it's crazy how much even just resting our body needs to keep us alive. And yeah, so definitely like eating more, you're going to get your energy back. You're able to train harder and you've seen like looking, much better and improving and all that. So just
I'm
super.
feeling much better. That I think actually it is so important. You look how you feel, and I definitely feel so good that I know I. We were talking the other day. Even your posture changes, and it's not that you are straight just because you have to. It's because you feel that you are stretching when you're straight, and then you obviously at the end your body shape is changing because you have good posture, but it's because you are not tired. It's not easy to be all the time straight, but I love it. I mean, it's just, I know I look much better, but because I feel much better. It's definitely because I feel much better.
Yeah. Yeah. So many things, so many amazing things coming from a fitness journey, doing things kind of the right way is like, when you're lifting properly, just like Marcela is saying, you are strengthening those muscles that might have been a bit weak, right? A lot of us that sit a lot of the time, our mid-back muscles can start to get really weak. It can lead to pain, poor posture. And when you're correcting that, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm, back to me again. And we were even talking about how when you just have proper posture, that in itself can really change your appearance and really help you feel
Totally.
so much more confident.
Yes, definitely. And you know what? I, we were thinking like you feel that you're not doing anything because you might not see changes from in a month. You probably won't. I actually did see changes, especially in my arms in the first month. Remember, I was like so surprised how I built muscle so fast in my arms. But then I remember when I was a child, I used to swim a lot, and then I feel the muscles have memory and they catch up, they come back super quick. Same thing happened after the vacation. I mean, at the beginning I work out over there, but then I didn't. I give myself vacation, and it wasn't easy to come back, but at the end, it was much easier to come back this time than any other time.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, we're talking about that, how it's so much easier to get back into it than it is to, initially build it all, which is super fun. And
Right.
to, to everyone listening, it's been so fun to, I train Marcela, been, once or twice a week, twice recently. And she's, in the mirror, she's like, Anna, look at my bicep, look at my, look at my muscle. And I'm like, hey, yeah, Marcela, let's go.
In my back, because I can see them, right? So you take videos of me. Like I couldn't believe I could build those muscles. Honestly, I was so afraid to lifting, and I don't know why I was so afraid. I mean, I guess because back home and back then people that will lift will be only big and men, and it wasn't. I never seen a girl doing it. Actually, I told you, when I went to the gym now, I was surrounded by men. There was no one woman there doing
Back
lifting. I was the
in
only one.
Bolivia. Yeah, back in
Back
Bolivia.
in Bolivia. Back in Bolivia, there was nobody. I mean, I was just the only woman doing it, and the guys were looking at me like, wrong place. I'm like, no.
I love it. I love that so much. Being yourself and yeah, showing them what you got. But that's awesome. And yeah, it's been so fun just to every week see your improvement and your excitement here and just the hard work you've put into, really asking questions, making sure that along the way, like you have the most optimal plan has just been, really awesome. And just your kind of collaboration and looking to always grow has been like awesome. And so just something you should.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you for your help. I mean, you're a big part of this, and I am super excited and love to share my story. Like, I am sure so many women are in the same spot, eating less than 1,000 calories, trying to do crazy diets, eating soup all day, or sometimes there is one like the detox. I remember where you can eat only um, celery for a couple of days. I mean, that's just crazy. I think the damage that we do to our body, we don't realize the damage that we're doing to our body actually at that time, right? So definitely balancing is the best thing. Eating a little of everything.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate how many like quick fix, gimmicky, or just these insane diets you see everyone on Facebook talking about, or, these different medications now that are having all these side effects that people are just jumping right on. And, really at the end of the day, no matter, how much maybe your goal is to lose weight, no matter how much weight you have to lose, or maybe it's to gain muscle, like there is an approach to where you're not going to have to restrict yourself so unnecessarily and drive yourself into, stress, right? Because oftentimes all those diets are actually more harmful, just like we're talking about, is like it's more harmful for you physically and also mentally. The stress of it is just not necessary. And so, just love sharing with people that transformation is possible in a way that is sustainable, actually sustainable, right?
Correct.
Like asking yourself the question, is the way that you're eating right now something you feel like you could do forever? And if the answer is no, that's probably a sign that you might need to take a different approach to reaching your goals, right?
That
So
you need to find a change, definitely, because I'm looking right now at what I used to eat because they are still there. And I remember going to the office and they were like, "Is this is your lunch?" And I will be, "Yes, it's like dog food." Like, because they come in an envelope and you just put water. But then at some point I was like, seriously? This is the most processed thing that you can ever have. Whatever you're eating, they just make it easy for you to just put water and now you have a soup. Put water and now you have mac and cheese. But in my mind, I was thinking like, this is not natural. We want the most natural things in our body. I mean, we want to take care of our body. It's ours and it's only one. You have only one. So that's when I was like analyzing, this is not the best thing for me. It's not sustainable. I cannot eat dog food all my life. I was even going to the bathroom like my dogs at the same time every single day, which is good, but it wasn't good. If you think about it, if you cannot eat envelopes your whole day, I mean your whole life, it's not sustainable.
that's so funny. You started turning into your dogs even.
I was comparing myself with my dogs.
That's funny. But yeah, like for everyone listening who's like maybe in that situation where they're eating like barely anything, maybe they're not like exercising, they don't really know where to start, is like, there is definitely value in just like, hey, just go to the gym and start eating a little bit more, but also knowing that there is a very individualized approach that everyone should take, right? Or that everyone can take. And so
Yeah.
making sure you have like that guidance from ideally a professional, right? A coach. But making sure that you are doing things in a way that's going to support your body, right? Back to getting in a healthy spot and progressing, and not like, oh, I'm just going to eat everything and anything now and, lift some weights and all will be good, because, doing it the wrong way can definitely kind of lead to some issues as well. So, making sure you do have that support. But yeah, Marcela, so awesome to hear your story. Is there anything else you want to leave our listeners with?
No, I think I said everything. Just people need to notice that they can make changes. It's not impossible. And always look for something that is sustainable, that you can do it here, or you can do it in a month if you are on a business trip, or if you are on vacation, that is still doable. Like that's important. Things that are natural, that are those are the best for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for, sharing.
Thank you for having me, Anna.
Yeah. So yeah, we will talk to all of you listeners here on the next episode, and hope you guys have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.